control of the driver's seat.
Full mandate with proper support. I mean, one glaring example that should kind of answer the question for you. In the Mullet Bay inquiry, there were 13 votes and only one person did not vote for.
Okay.
So that should give you an idea of why I said no, enough is enough. Because if Frans Richardson didn't even support it, then you know I was having an internal issue with USP in that regard.
USP is that party. We have always been a party for inclusion, but we believe that the young people of this country should get greater opportunities. Just like we did for the former director of tourism, giving him that opportunity, even though they tried to destroy him. We believe that everyone deserves a second chance. But unfortunately, those that always feel they need greener pastures have left us.
There's another one that confused me. Then Mr. Myers withdrew his support of the government. I think he later retracted that statement. I'm not sure. Again, I just read the headlines and don't, it gets confused. It gets confusing at a certain point, and that
just like it is for you, it is for the people of St. Martin. Really, you know. I mean, persons come to me, and as I go to them in this campaign, even before, they're like, "What happened there?" And then you try to explain it without becoming too technical, you know, and going into the articles of the Constitution and the motion of no confidence, etc. But what happened, so remember, we were at a point, and Theo with his issues, Theo deciding I can't lead this party, Sarah stepping up to the plate, although the structure was not really what it should have been. Then we decided to assist me, Frankie would become the faction leader. So Frankie became responsible for the other members in parliament.
Yes.
And then you got these moves taking place, and you got these subtle threats within our own coalition. And at some point in time, Frankie actually threw his hands in the air.
Kind of spun out there.
It's funny that you bring up the harbor, because at the same time that we're resisting a Schiphol Group appointee at the airport, there was also the consideration of setting off part of the port operations to local ports.
Right.
So why what is the difference?
Right.
It's two ports of entry, our most valuable assets of the country.
Absolutely, yes.
And one, you're frustrated because what is essentially a kingdom partner, a partner company, you could even say, is going to have some presence. But the other, it's fine that we can consider handing it over to a company that has no ties to the Netherlands at all.
Correct.
Within the kingdom, and so I think that would be an interesting.
So then you served briefly in Parliament.
I served briefly in Parliament as a member of Parliament, and then I went over to the executive branch and became the Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport.
Yes.
And after government fell, we was appointed Prime Minister for the caretaker government.
Yes. And now back to Parliament.
And now back
to Parliament. So again, we were saying off camera, it's like, the St. Martin political timeline is like dog years, right? Like, because that resume of Parliament, Minister of Health, Youth, Culture and Sports, Prime Minister, and a second term as a Parliament, that should have been like a 12-year stint right there. Yeah, but in St. Martin politics, again, dog years. It's really 2 years in human lives. But anyway, that is what it is. Is that, sensationalism to create fear?
I believe that part of it, well, I'm sure that Holland doesn't want to take over St. Martin. I mean, they have better things to do. Let me put that
fair.
For 702 million. And here we are now, waiting on 550, of which 70 million we have to use for not even to fix the jail, to lock up the politicians. Do you think that's fair? What's your end game? Do you love this island? Are we equal partners in the kingdom? Is this how you're treating us? Do we deserve this? If I even have to go back 4 years back, what you did to my country 400 years back. And now my country is flourishing and doing good. And now our backs are to our walls. You're supposed to help us. You're obligated to do that. We have rights. We're human.
Right. Were you in the right place at the right time to sign that deal, or were you the difference maker? How much credit should you be getting for the airport deal that's just been signed?
I don't think that it should be credit given only to me as a minister.
Fair.
I think there are a lot of players that are involved.
Good point.
And it'll be unfair to not give everyone credit. I mean, from NRPB, Mr. Claire Connor,
okay.
Abel, who also works at NRPB, and all the rest of the staff.
Okay.
The World Bank.
Yes.
The Dutch for making the funds be available.
Fair, okay.
You know, so it's not. I would never take all the credit for sure. I will say this though, that when we did come in, every single day that we were in, we almost spent most of our time dealing with the airport.
Because nothing happened at the dump for the past 2 years.
Correct.
I can remember the previous minister said it's a monster and he could deal with the monster. Knops came down, Rutte came down, everybody come down. Oh God, the fires. They said, puppy show, blah, 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 blah. That's all it was. Because up until today, I run that landfill.
So for them, so they were going crazy. But what I also saw was a number of teachers in my neighborhood who were also at home at the time. So what I did was I created what I call the community school. I asked teachers to volunteer, and I literally walked up and down the neighborhood asking parents to send their children to my house to get classes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you did this after
Irma? Yes.
So you had like a voluntary school at your home?
Yes, and we got...
How many students?
It was about 30 because our yard was filled with children, so we maxed out at about 30, and then...
But can I ask about the size of the cut? Is it...
It's a major cut.
A major cut.
It's a major cut. We lost about 40 teachers because of that.
Because of the cut.
Because
so
of
40
the cut.
people
Yes.
were cut from payroll, basically.
Exactly.
Wow.
Okay, and now again, they cut the subsidy.
Again,
once more.
yet again.
So then we would have to go through the same process of dismissing teachers.
Is this 2 cuts since Irma? Is that correct?
This is 2 cuts.
This is the second
cut.
cut.
This is the second cut.
Wow.
Okay, and it had a major effect, and it still has an effect on just all schools that are subsidized by the government.
Yes.
And so we're bringing so much critical articles, opinion pieces about the goings on here in St. Martin in terms of government and politics. Right. And it's like it doesn't have any effect. Doesn't matter what you write, you just continue like nothing happened, you know? Yeah. And you get frustrated because you're thinking like, man, I'm calling out people, I'm even calling names, and it's still not having the effect.
It's not having an impact.
No, it doesn't.
It's like the Donald Trump effect,
exactly.
Almost, right? Like, there's so much shock value that people become immune to it, I think.
Exactly.
I don't know.
So at the end of the day, when you look at the instability that we have here in our political system and in the government, I can move to say, hey, this gotta stop.
That's just me. I'm a hands-on guy. I want to go in and actually start.
You see the problem, you want to try to fix it.
Exactly. And it is possible.
That's the engineering mentality there.
It's an engineering mentality, but I know it is possible.
Okay.
It's not as impossible. And for me, the time was there that I said, no, enough is enough.
But one of the things that we decided to do as thing was looking at how we can look at changing things sustainably, particularly putting in place programs and policies to make it sustainable. So for example, a lot of times, a lot of products are put out there for minimum wage increase or for agricultural,
sure.
But then when you look at the actual policy, there's nothing actually there that tells you how or even how you're going to begin to do it. So for example, one of the things that we've been doing for the past 7 years of getting this thing together is showing how and what are the problems. So for example, with the minimum wage, a lot of people put it out there for election time and it will go up. But you can't, but when you look at minimum wage, it's not just giving somebody extra 1,000 guilders.